Good morning, dear friends, especially our Salesian educators and Bosconians, and of course, our members of the Salesian family. Today is June 8th, and it is a feast day of Blessed Stephen Sandor, or also known as, in the original name, Istvan Sandor. He is a Salesian brother who is a martyr. If you go to Parañaque, there's a community there of Salesian brothers, of course led by the rector, who is a priest, Father Arnold Sanico. And that community has members, a lot of them, most of them, Salesian brothers. And who are these Salesian brothers? Don Bosco founded a congregation not only of priests. We're priests, and they're also what you call the coadjutors, or sometimes also called lay Salesians, or Salesian brothers, who do not become priests. Why? Because that is their vocation. Parang mga religious, no? Na even female religious, yung mga madre, hindi sila nagiging pare, but they profess the vows and they live in communities. And dito sa ating community of Don Bosco College, we have a member, a confrere, a Salesian who is a coadjutor or a Salesian brother. That's Brother Kerwin. And today we celebrate, as I said, the memorial of this blessed. He is a martyr. I found a very good article here in the internet about him. It's actually from the Catholic News Service. Of course, among the websites of the Salesians, there are a lot speaking about him. And today we celebrate especially his liturgy. And this article from Catholic News Agency is headlined in this way: Hungarian Salesian brother hanged under communist rule, beatified. So he is from Hungary. And I'd like to read this article, which was written in Budapest. Salesian brother Stephen Sandor, who was secretly hanged for anti-state activities under communist rule, has been beatified as martyr. We celebrate a hero deeply loyal to his Salesian vocation and respect a great laborer who taught young people the love of work. Cardinal Peter Erdo of Esztergom, Budapest, said that the October 19 Beatification Mass in St. Stephen's Square in front of the cathedral. By the way, the patron saint of Hungary is Saint Stephen of Hungary. Obviously, Blessed Stephen Sandor was named after him, since he's a popular saint, no? In Hungary, Saint Stephen of Hungary. And it is quoted, "We are shocked he fell victim to a show trial, was tortured on false charges, sentenced to death and executed. His martyrdom evokes a sad era of purges when the judicial system sanctioned murder," the Cardinal said of the brother, executed in 1953. Cardinal Angelo Amato, a fellow Salesian and at that time, prefect of the Vatican's Congregation for Saints' Causes at the time of the beatification, said Blessed Sandor's death, far from being an improvised heroic gesture, had followed a life of perpetual self-dedication. Just an aside, no? As what we have mentioned before, it's not only the time of the martyrdom for our saints, for I think almost all of them, but it is something began, or something that was there throughout their life. And I continue. He said, this is Cardinal Amato, he said religious persecution created a gulf between human beings, whereas martyrs built bridges of fraternity, forgiveness, and acceptance through their sacrifice. Born in Szolnok in 1914, Istvan Sandor joined the Salesians as a lay brother in 1936, and taking final vows a decade later. After teaching at the Salesian-run school, he served in Hungary's German Allied Army in World War II and was briefly imprisoned by US forces after the country's 1945 defeat. Rejecting the chance to flee abroad, he secretly ministered to young people after the communist takeover, working under a false name at a chemicals factory, but disappeared after being arrested by the secret police in July 1952. And documents later showed he was sentenced to death for treason at a closed trial and hanged on June 8, 1953. And in that article from Catholic News Service, it was said that his remains were never found. But more recently, his remains indeed were found. And that was in 2019, just last year in March, when the whole Salesian family rejoiced because the relics of Blessed Stephen Sandor have been found. And that's altogether another story. But I would just like to underscore this, that holiness runs in the Salesian family. And it's really beautiful that we have an example of a Salesian here, a Salesian brother. Hindi siya pari, pero he lived his vows. He was faithful to them. And it's an example for all of us, whether we are religious or non-religious, or we are lay people, that we are faithful to the vocation that we have. Here, he primarily worked for young people, especially in those difficult times. My dear friends, especially dear Salesian educators, we are in difficult times. Maski nasabihin natin it's not an era of martyrdom, but these times call us. Anong pwede nating gawin para sa mga kabataan, especially to those whom the Lord sends us? And our Salesian educators today, our lay mission partners, are busily preparing for the coming school year. It is our own way of expressing our yes to God, the vocation that He has given us. Lagi kong sinasabi sa mga teachers, ours is not only a profession. It's not just a job nor a profession. It is a vocation. And God has given that vocation to us to work for young people. We may not be called to be martyrs like Blessed Stephen Sandor, but we are called to faithfulness in the vocation that God has given to us. I wish you all a good day. God bless you.